though, overall,
You know,
and dry.
my feeling here is that just, oh,
Okay. Just a second. He'll be back. It takes a second to boot up.
okay, am I back now? Hopefully I'm back now.
Yes. Wait.
It's back.
Okay.
Am I back now?
It's hard to hear.
Okay, we can hear me.
Okay, we can hear Mark.
I got a little cold.
Thank
That's
goodness,
why I sound a little funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike is on. I was going to say, yeah, you know, a lot of spring times, March, April, and May, it can be wet for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But that's not happening this year. We're seeing a nice mix of showers and then some sun breaks. Tomorrow's bicycling forecast looks pretty good. I have okay at noon because I think there could be a shower or two around, kind of like what we saw late this afternoon. But a lot of us got by with dry weather, and that will be the case tomorrow. I think a lot of you will just have dry conditions. 57 degrees in the city right now. It's our Shriners Hospital cam. And Travel Salem camera, 57 degrees there as well. Northwest wind a bit breezy. And then down at Newport, always a little cooler, almost always cooler near the water in the low 50s. All right, so look at the big rain totals. Just wait, 1/100th of an inch here in Portland. Wow, that's dry stuff. So tonight, partly cloudy, a shower chance west of the Cascades. A lot of us just stay dry now. It'll be a little cooler west of the mountains in the 30s. 20s and 30s east of the Cascades. Tomorrow night is when we're going to have some frost, especially in the outlying areas as things cool off. I was going to show you some more on the radar, but there was nothing to show you. It's just dry. So what's ahead? Well, big picture is we've got drier and warmer than normal spring weather. It's going to continue through the foreseeable future. All our models are in agreement that for the next 7 to 10 days, drier than normal. Not totally dry. When are the rain chances? I think, again, tonight and tomorrow, a shower or two. That's it. And then maybe Saturday and possibly Sunday. We do have warm and sunny days, of course, in this setup where it's drier than normal in spring. We can get nice and warm. So Wednesday through Friday, after some frosty spots Wednesday morning, I think we have some nice sunshine. The reason we have the cooler weather, there's this what we call an upper level low. There's kind of something spinning here, but it's staying in Canada. It's heading off that direction. So we're just at the edge of it. That's why we're not getting many showers. And in fact, you can see the cloud forecast. Tomorrow morning looks pretty much dry, maybe a shower at midday, and then we're going to go to sunshine on Sunday. And that is one of only 2 weather systems in the next 8 or 9 days that move close by. That's getting out of here. There's another one approaching, not Friday, but maybe Saturday, a little bit of that system kind of breaks off and comes inland. That gives us a chance for showers. But notice all the action is up here. Jet stream is up along that blue line. So here in Portland, just partly cloudy, shower chance, small chance at any time during the day. I think the best chance is midday or in the afternoon. But still, I'd give it like a 30% chance max. Frosty start, there's going to be some frost around on Wednesday morning. That's not unusual, though, in mid-April. Nice warm afternoon, though, up into the low 60s. And then look at that, 2 days in the low 70s, backing off to around normal Saturday, Sunday, maybe a shower, and then back to warmer again next week. So spring not looking so bad so far.